everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Krista. I'm the creator behind Krista's Crochet. I like to share fun vlogs and projects, so grab your yarn and let's chat. Hello everyone. Today is June 2nd and we're gonna do a little crochet and chat and catch up. So last video, or as of right now, is coming out this Friday. It was actually supposed to come out 2 Fridays ago. A lot happened. As you might remember from last video, I was having some pretty bad tailbone pain. Turns out it was not tailbone pain. I had a cyst. Pilodental cyst, I think. I'll put the actual spelling on the screen. I don't really remember. I'm not going to go into too much detail of that because it is honestly low-key embarrassing of the placement of it. But I said tailbone, so you can probably guess. So basically I had suffered in pain for the whole week, and it wasn't getting better. I couldn't walk, I could barely sleep, I couldn't sit. And then one night I had finally felt the bump, and I'm like, oh, that seems to be an issue. And then I'm pretty sure the timeline is kind of blurry for me at this point. But it started bleeding, and so my stepmom thought it was a blister, but I'm like, no, I think it's a cyst or something. And then she finally got a better look at it, and she was like, oh, I do think this is a cyst. So basically I had to deal with it bleeding for 3 or 4 days, and then I believe it was May 27th. It was the day after Memorial Day. We went to the ER. I thought we were going to urgent care, but my stepmom actually took me to the ER just because she knew it was a lot worse than what I thought. And urgent care would not have been able to do anything for me anyways. So I'm there and everybody's looking at it, and I ended up going in for a CAT scan because it was deeper than they thought, of course. And I have really bad health anxiety. I think I've mentioned before that my mom passed away when I was younger. That's something that still triggers a lot of anxiety for me. So hospitals, doctors, stuff like that, I really struggle with that. Eventually they ended up admitting me into the hospital because it was very much so infected, unfortunately. And the thing about the ER we went to, it was not connected to the hospital. It was weird. It was almost like a satellite ER. So they literally had to take me in an ambulance to the actual hospital, which is felt so silly. What was the point? I wish I would have just had my parents drive me, but I was already hooked up to the IV and stuff like that. And they kept telling me I'm gonna be there 24 hours tops. That was not the case. I was there Tuesday through Friday. The original plan was they were going to put me under twilight anesthesia and drain it. But again, it was still much worse and deeper than they thought. The 3rd day I was in the hospital, they finally did surgery. It was actually my first surgery ever. So I was honestly a mess. I was crying so much. Literally minutes before they were going to take me in, they told me that they were no, you're getting a breathing tube. So I'm just crying so much, and they were trying to give me stuff for my anxiety. And they're if you go into anesthesia crying, you're going to wake up crying. And that was very much so the case. I was pretty loopy by the time they even wheeled me into the operating room. And then the last thing I remember is they put a breathing mask over me, and they're in through your nose and out your mouth. And I probably got about 3 breaths in before I don't remember anything. I was expecting more the typical count backwards from 100 or 10, whatever they usually do. And they might have done that, but I was gone. I was scared because I never had anesthesia before. I thought I was going to fight it. I know you can't fight it, but I thought subconsciously I would. But I was out. And I ended up waking up crying like they said I was going to. I remember like my brain kind of turned on before my eyes turned on, if that makes sense. Like I can remember things before I remember seeing things, because I woke up crying, asking for my dad, and I was just like gripping the sides of the hospital bed. My dad said I was in the recovery room for like 2 hours, but I honestly don't remember. It was more so like 5 minutes for me, because the recovery area was also right next to my hospital room. They wheeled me back pretty quickly. But then like after that, I stopped crying pretty quickly, thankfully. And I remember a lot more than they said I would. I was talking to my recovery nurse about like my job and stuff and a show I was watching. And she's like, oh, you're not going to remember this conversation tomorrow. And funny enough, I do. So I ended up getting discharged the day after my surgery. That was like a whole mess in itself, because they kept saying I was going to get discharged. And then a new like general medicine doctor took over that day, and he started telling me something different. Thankfully, my dad was there and advocated for me. I was able to go home. So that brings us to today. I got discharged on May 30th, I believe, if my math is correct. I do feel pretty good right now. The pain is very minor. For having surgery and like what I was going through, I expected the pain to be so much worse, and I'm very, very thankful it's not. Unfortunately, I do have to go in for a second surgery. At least they told me I do, because my cyst was so inflamed and infected, they couldn't take the actual sac out. But it was Friday afternoon when I got discharged, so like everywhere, like everything was already closed at that point. So I couldn't call to make my follow-up appointment until today, and my follow-up is not until next week. And I was hoping the second surgery would be next week. I also have to have some at-home care because they left it open and just packed it. So I need like the dressings changed, and I called them this morning because again, they were closed, and now they have to like wait for authorization from my insurance. So that is honestly very annoying, because I would really like my dressing to be changed. But overall, for it being like my first like hospital stay, surgery, all the things, it wasn't that bad. I am very fortunate that this was like pretty minor. I am very thankful I'm also home, so my dad and stepmom were able to be there for me. I could not imagine going through this while I was still living in South Carolina and not having anybody there and just like sitting in the hospital alone every day. I had amazing nurses. The doctors were good. Other than when they like kept switching things up on me and telling me different things, they were all really good. But yeah, my nursing staff, they were all amazing. I honestly miss them. I had one nurse for 3 days straight, and he was amazing. But it is very nice that I can like sit normally now. Mostly, I still have like the dressing, and the dressing like takes up a majority of that area. So like it doesn't hurt, but it's like kind of uncomfortable. But I'm amazed by the pain relief I'm already feeling. I am planning to go back to work on Wednesday. I only got scheduled for 2 days this week, which is totally fine. I let my manager know, I'm like, I don't know if I'll be out of the hospital by then. I don't really know what's going on and all that stuff. But they were super understanding, and I'm very grateful for that, and all my shifts were able to be covered. I wish I could have crocheted in the hospital, but I had a very uncomfortable IV, and they didn't really believe me at first. Yeah, it was very hard to do much. And you know, my room is not the cleanest, so like I didn't even like know where to tell my dad to like grab me anything. Because I was not expecting to be admitted, so I didn't really think to like have stuff ready just in case. Like I brought my book, but I bring a book everywhere. But I feel like sitting in the hospital room would have been like perfect time to edit and work on my Etsy and Notion and stuff like that. But totally fine. Since being home, I've kind of just been like relaxing and sleeping a lot. I could not sleep in the hospital. It was like actually awful. I'm like at the point where I believe I can resume normal activities, but I'm like still trying to take it easy. I don't want to make a whole bunch of like goals and aspirations for this week, but there's a lot of things I would like to get done. I'm working really hard to get this granny square bag done. I have to make another square. Probably will have to make another 2 squares. I have projects I need to take apart. I definitely want to work on my book tracker project. And I want to make some more beta fish with Crochet by Jenna's pattern. I really like that pattern. So depending on how much I crochet today will depend on if I check back in with you guys today. Also, now with my vlogs, what I've like wanted to do was kind of get like behind on my vlogs so that I have like more time to edit. Like when my vlogs come out, like they'll be coming out like 2 weeks after I filmed it. I think that'll just like make editing easier for me. I also thought about doing some like crochet and chat story times, almost like what I'm doing right now, but like with random things. I thought about doing like a whole story time for my hospital stay and stuff, because I feel like it might help other people who are nervous, because I was very nervous, but I don't know if anybody would be interested in like all those details. But I am still like trying hard to post twice a week. I have yet to post a second video. I really only have one done for a second video, so anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Hey everyone, today is June 5th. I'm about to cry because I already filmed this and my camera was not filming, so I guess I didn't film it. Anyways, I got some happy mail this week. I'm super excited to show you guys. I finally got some hooks from Hooks and Glitter. I got all of her 4th wing ones. Look how pretty they are. They're so cute. I'll show you which ones I got. I got all of them. But I got the 5.5mm that says Save a Dragon, Ride a Wing Leader. Super pretty. I got a 6 that says a rider without their dragon. Oh, wait. A dragon without their rider is a tragedy. A rider without their dragon is dead. I think the color on this one is like my favorite. Then I got a 6.5, which I would say is my currently most used hook. That and a 5 that says Violent Little Thing. Then I got a 7 that says I am infinite. And then I got We do not eat our allies in an 8. Super cute. And not only did I get the hooks, but she hooked us up with some stickers. This one is my favorite. It says Save a Dragon, Ride Satan. If you're under 18, close your ears. And then this one is of Tarn and Indarna. Then this one says you gave me your heart, so I'm keeping it. And then now earn your nickname and try your best to kill me. These are so cute. I am super happy with them. I absolutely love clover hooks. I think like they glide the best when I'm crocheting. But my one complaint is the grips always fall off on some of them. But I was worried. I didn't know if like holding them with like the resin on them would be as comfortable as holding them with the soft grips on them. If you can tell, that's like kind of soft material. I haven't crocheted with them yet, but I've been holding them and they felt pretty good, just like holding the other ones. So very excited for that. And then the other happy mail I got was Sierra Stitch's new book. All the patterns in here are super cute. I'm super excited to make them. I'm gonna have to order the floral wire and stems to like finally make them, but I think they'll be super cute and I can't wait to take them to a market with me. I love like all the like extras too, like the heart and the bear. And I did pre-order the book and I got like the 5 free patterns she did, so I have like a bee I could make. But yeah, super cute. And then I'm still working on my granny square bag. I have it all sewn together. I'm just weaving in the ends now, which is like the absolute worst part. I don't really mind sewing and weaving ends too much, but it's just a lot right now. But yeah, that's pretty much what I have going on right now. I went back to work yesterday for the first time post-surgery. I'm actually a week out from my surgery and I am feeling pretty good. I cannot believe the amount of pain I was in and how long I endured it for. I definitely should have gone to the doctors much sooner. I don't think that would have changed needing surgery or being hospitalized. Because I didn't realize it was too bad until it broke open, and at that point it was already infected. But like being able to sit comfortably has like made me emotional, funny enough. I can't believe, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I was eating dinner on my stomach, I was laying on my stomach constantly, I was sleeping on my stomach. Like, that's how bad it got. Like, I couldn't crochet. I was in too much pain. But we are all good now. I'm, like, halfway through my antibiotics. I go for my follow-up next week. I'm not looking forward to that because they might have to do kind of an outpatient procedure to fully remove the cyst because it was, like, too infected for them to pull it out when I originally went in for surgery. And I'm very nervous about that because everybody is saying it's super painful, but I'm very thankful my dad is taking me to the appointment. I don't think I would have been able to go alone anyways because I know I'll be getting anesthesia, but I think it might be a local anesthesia, so I might not be fully put under. I'm not really sure. We'll find out next week. But now I can like actually sit in my room and crochet and catch up on everything I've been watching. But yeah. Hopefully next time I talk to you guys, I'll have this bag finished. So I will talk to you guys later. Good morning, everyone. Today is June 8th. I am trying really hard to finish this bag today. I only have like the straps to do. Hopefully I can finish this pretty quickly because I broke my streak of not buying yarn yesterday, and I've been wanting to do the viral 6-day star blanket. I usually miss like all the trends that go around in the crochet community, and I'm still pretty late to this one, but I think like it's fine. But I got this beautiful yarn for it. It is the Karen Latte Cake. I think you pronounce it Karen. And I got it in the color Velvet Teal. I have 3 skeins of it. It is super soft. I'm using this because Crochet by Jenna used the same yarn but in a different color for her blanket. And I remember looking at it, I'm like, that looks so scratchy and not soft. But I touched it in store for the first time and oh my goodness, you guys. She's soft. I am very excited to finally start making that. But I am not allowed to start making it until I finish this bag. I had a very good day yesterday. Yesterday was like my first like big day out post surgery. My friend and I, we went to Michael's. She also crochets and she's getting ready to make a blanket for her cat because her cat really likes her blankets she makes. And she's making a lemon for her friend that's coming to visit this week. She also needed some other things. And then we went to Target because she was also looking for an embroidery kit. We were looking in the craft section at Target. And I've like wanted to get into resin crafts so bad. But like at the same time, I really don't want to mess with resin because like you have to do it in a well-ventilated area. I guess luckily since I live in Florida, it is warm year round. But also now that we're in like June, July, August are the hottest months of the year in Florida. They're the hottest months of the year anywhere, but like our summers get like scorching, and I have not been home during this time of year in like 3 or 4 years. So I don't know how well sitting outside trying to do resin is going to work. But this is the little kit I got. Super cute. I haven't opened it yet. Yeah, we will see how it turns out. I've been thinking ahead about like what else I would like to accomplish. Other than I definitely want to get this bag done today. And I really want to start the blanket today. So then after Target, my friend and I, we went and walked around the mall we worked at because she went in at 3 and I went in at 4. We probably walked around for about an hour. She ended up beating me there because she took the highway there and I took back roads. If you've been on 95 in Florida, you understand why I took back roads. We walked around the mall, we got some Starbucks, and then she went into her shift at 3, and I was about to get food before my shift when she called me. She's like, "We're super busy, do you want to come in early?" And I'm like, "Sure." So I ended up going in early yesterday, so I basically worked from about like 3 to 10, but I got there like a little after 3 and we left a little before 10. Even though like 6.5, 7 hours, that's not a lot for a work day. Like, trust me, I have worked much longer shifts in my life at previous jobs. It's a little bit harder in retail because you are on your feet the entire time. And I feel like the first couple of days I started working there, like my feet were killing me after my shifts. But then they got used to it. But then I was in the hospital last week and didn't work for a week and a half. So like that stamina I built kind of went away. We're slowly working on getting it back. Because like still, I'm fully capable of standing on my feet for however long. I just get tired. But yeah, very good day yesterday. So I have been like looking ahead, trying to figure out like what I'm doing, what I'm working on. For sure, I would like to get this bag done today. I did tell my manager yesterday I didn't have much going on today. So if she needs me to come in and work, I can. And she doesn't go until 11:30. And it's currently around 9:30. So I won't know until a little bit later anyways. But if I do end up going in, hopefully, like, I can at least start the blanket. And then I also have my book tracker project to work on. I'm still, like, trying to figure out how I'm going to make 2025. All my flowers are done, even though I'm about to finish another book. One extra flower won't be a huge deal to make. I just need to figure out, like, the vine and all that stuff. I still want to do that Harley Davidson tapestry project. And then I want to start tackling some of my long-term projects. I have a blanket and a tablecloth. I think I'll probably do the blanket first because I can probably finish that pretty quickly and get that out of here. And then I'll start working on the tablecloth. I'm just trying to think ahead for content ideas too because I don't think I've posted any short form content in a few weeks. And now that I'm feeling better, I definitely want to start getting some short form content prepped and ready. I go for my follow-up Wednesday. I may still be getting a procedure that day. I'll avoid the graphic details, but it still has to do with my cyst because they could not fully take it out during my first surgery because it was very infected. And if they don't end up taking it out Wednesday, then I'm probably going to have an actual surgery in the next few weeks. I forget exactly what I said at the beginning of this video because I know I talked about like all that stuff. And what I'm saying now might be different than what I talked about at the beginning of the video, just because after having like my at-home nurse visits, they're starting to tell me different things than what they originally told me what was going to happen. Because originally I was going to have another surgery this past week, but then when I got discharged, they were like, "You're going to have a follow-up within 1 to 2 weeks. And then scheduling the second surgery." But now they're saying like that doesn't need a surgery. They can do it in the office. So if you hear me like contradicting myself, that's why. It's because they keep changing it on me. Yeah, I just can't wait for it to be over with. Not that there's any good time to be in the hospital or have surgery, but it could not have happened at a better time. Just with me like having a flexible work schedule and wonderful coworkers that can pick up my shifts since it's retail. And my parents are here. Like I don't know what I would have done if I was still in South Carolina. I'm very fortunate that it was like a very minor procedure and very minor issue. I'm definitely milking it though, I won't lie. I'm glad like I got my whole first surgery, first hospital trip, first ER visit. I'm glad I got that all over with for a very minor issue. A disclaimer, it was major enough to go to the ER. They would not have been able to help me at urgent care or in a doctor's office. I will say that I did not go to the ER for no reason. And they told me at the ER, like, yeah, nobody else would have been able to help you. So I am not one of those people just who randomly go to the ER. But yeah, I am definitely rambling on at this point. The plan is that today is going to be the last day of this week's video. So I think I've done a lot of chatting, and my goal for my vlogs is to be around like 30 to 40 minutes. Those are typically the ones I prefer to watch. And I wanted to change up the way I do my vlogs instead of like, because originally when I started, I was doing it Friday through Thursday night, and Friday morning to get it ready for Friday afternoon. And that was like not sustainable. So I switched to doing it Thursday through Wednesday, so then I'd have 2 days to get it ready. But even then, that's still like not really sustainable. Especially like when I'm working, I'm not vlogging every day. If my parents are here, I'm not vlogging. I'm like trying to get ahead. I don't want like set days for my vlogs. I just want to film until I have a long enough video, make that its own video, then start a new one, if that makes sense. Most of the time I edit as I go, but I have not been doing that. But I'm not too worried about it for this week's video. Okay, I'm definitely rambling on at this point. I am like losing my train of thought and stuttering. And I want to get this bag done so I can start my blanket. I think I'm going to do this as a time lapse as well. But I have my water bottle, I have my Soulicious, and I'm going to find something to watch. So I will talk to you guys later. I'm back, everyone. I finished the bag finally. She is cute, but truthfully I don't think I will ever make a bag in this shape again. I prefer the other ones that I do, the ones that are like, it's basically 2 points that come up on each side. Colors truthfully aren't my favorite. Like the combination I did, I feel like maybe I should have done like a non-neutral color, but honestly I'm sure somebody will come along and they will like the blanket. I have been crocheting with my hooks and glitter hook now. The feeling of like holding them and crocheting with them is definitely kind of different from the like softer grips on them, but knowing this isn't sliding off is a lot more comfy to crochet with. And the one thing that I really liked about the clovers too, and it's still like incorporated on here, I hope you can see this, is like the top is flat with a rounded bottom, because like I usually place my thumb right here. So like I think it's called the knife grip, because this is the pencil grip. I don't know how people crochet like this, but I crochet like this. But I do really like them, and I'm glad I purchased them. I'm hoping to like purchase an entire collection of them, even though I already got 5 of them. I make a wide range of things and use a wide range of hooks. It would make sense for me to get more. It's currently almost 1 o'clock and my manager has not asked me to come in yet for today. So I don't think I'm going to be going to work today, because on Sundays we close early. Well, the mall closes early, so you know, that's totally fine. I can work on my blanket. I also like really need to clean my room. I perpetually clean my room, but it was really bad when I was having a lot of the excruciating pain. I couldn't stand up for that long and not be in pain. And my pain is like basically nothing now, even post-surgery. Even though it's a little painful today, I think it's because the way I've been sitting on the couch, I've kind of been sitting like right on it. So that's my own fault. I am super excited to finally get started on my 6-day star blanket. I'm not scheduled for a lot of shifts this week, so I might be able to actually finish it in 6 days. And if they do end up doing a procedure on Wednesday at my follow-up, this will be like a good recovery project, assuming I can sit. But when I had my first surgery done, I woke up and I was very much so laying on the area. I would have expected them to have me on my stomach or my side or something, but so what I have decided to do is I'm gonna end this week's video right now. I am going to show my blanket in next vlog, but I'm also going to make a separate video for the blanket, kind of inspired by Jenna's. I do apologize again if this video was like kind of choppy, or like me talking is choppy. It has been a weird few weeks. I haven't been vlogging as much. I am hoping this issue is like basically over after this week and we can go back to normal. Thank you guys so much for watching this week's video. Make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. Comment your favorite part of this week's video. I would love to hear from you guys, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.